Have you ever woken up certain you weren't alone? That night I lay with my arms open, the room silent, my skin prickling as if unseen eyes studied me. At first it was nothing more than the air pressing heavier, each breath too loud, each heartbeat too sharp. Then the mattress dipped, slow, deliberate, the way someone lowers themselves right beside you. I held still, every muscle locked, waiting for the moment to pass. But it didn't. Warmth slid across my back, curling around my waist like invisible fingers, and a hot breath touched my ear. No words were spoken, but I felt them all the same. Mine. I thought that was the end of it, but I was wrong. That was only the beginning. And what followed was far more terrifying than I could ever have imagined. The silence in my room felt unnatural, like the world outside had stopped breathing. I lay face down, my arms stretched loosely above me, the fabric of my nightwear clinging to my skin with every shallow breath. I told myself I was safe, that it was just another night, but deep inside something whispered otherwise. The air pressed down, heavy and alive, as if the darkness itself leaned closer, listening. Then came the shift. The mattress dipped in a way no house settling could explain. Slow, cautious, deliberate. My stomach knotted instantly, my fingers curling weakly into the sheets. I wanted to roll over, to look, to break the illusion, but fear locked me in place. My body screamed for stillness, as if movement itself might invite what I already sensed beside me. The touch followed. It started faint, a graze against the back of my thigh, so light I could have dismissed it as imagination, if it hadn't lingered. The contact drifted upward with deliberate patience, each inch stealing more of my breath. Goosebumps erupted across my body, my heart hammering so loudly it drowned out thought. I pressed my face into the pillow, muffling the gasp that fought to escape. The mattress sank deeper. Knees pressed into either side of me, pinning me with invisible weight. My chest tightened, every nerve screaming for release, yet my body quaked with something far more complicated. Shame burned as I realized the trembling wasn't only fear. Hot breath curled against my neck, steady and suffocating. My lips parted involuntarily, and though no sound reached my ears, meaning carved itself into me. Mine. The word resonated in my bones, vibrating through every part of me. I whispered, "Please," into the pillow, though even I didn't know if I begged it to stop or not to. The only response was another caress, bolder this time, sliding up my side. My body arched against the mattress, betraying me, while the unseen weight seemed to relish every shiver. The air thickened with that intoxicating scent again, earthy, sweet, overwhelming. I inhaled without meaning to, dizzy as it spread through me. My hands dug into the sheets, but the presence pressed harder, savoring my helplessness. And just when I thought the terror had reached its peak, the re-hook struck. The blanket that had covered part of me shifted, tugged slowly downward by hands I could not see. Cold air swept across my back, bearing me further. My pulse faltered, panic colliding with a darker ache that left me shaking. That night wasn't simply a haunting. It was a claim, and it had only just begun. The mattress groaned again, sinking lower beneath me, the weight unmistakable now. This wasn't a trick of the dark or my restless mind. Something had climbed fully onto the bed, pressing me into the sheets with a slow, deliberate claim. My arms remained stretched above me, useless, my palms open in surrender. I felt every heartbeat slam against the mattress, the vibrations echoing through my chest. The touch returned, stronger, more certain. Fingers traced the line of my waist, dragging deliberately upward. My stomach twisted, my lips parting against the pillow as my breath faltered. Shame seared hotter than the fear itself, because I felt the tremor of anticipation racing alongside my terror. My body shook, betraying me in the most dangerous way possible. I tried to whisper again, to plead, but the only sound that escaped was a muffled gasp. The presence answered with another stroke, sliding across my back, lingering at the curve of my spine. Goosebumps erupted, my body arching slightly despite my will. The silence buzzed, alive with the sense that it was listening, waiting for more. Then came the breath, hot, steady, curling along the back of my neck until it spilled across my ear. I clenched my eyes shut, my nails digging into the sheets, but nothing could block it out. The whisper followed, not spoken aloud, yet resonating inside me all the same. Mine. My heart stumbled, my breath shattered, and for a moment I thought it would end there. But the rehook came sharp and merciless. The mattress shifted harder, the weight lowering until it pressed along my entire back. My body locked, trapped beneath something I couldn't see but felt in every nerve. The sheets stretched tight, as though unseen hands pinned them around me. I gasped for air, desperate, but the scent poured in thick and heady, earthy, sweet, intoxicating. It coiled through me, drowning thought, pushing me to the edge of surrender. My chest heaved, my body trembled, and in the dark I realized it wasn't just fear that held me captive. The lamp flickered suddenly, a weak glow trembling against the walls. My eyes darted to the side, desperate for proof, and in that flicker I saw it. Something bending low over me, darker than the night itself, its shape so close it nearly brushed me. My lungs seized, my body stiffened. Before I could scream, the light died. Darkness swallowed everything, leaving me smothered beneath the unseen weight, trembling in the silence. And in that silence, I knew the worst was still to come. The air around me grew so heavy it felt like drowning. My body pressed deeper into the mattress, the weight above me settling fully, pinning me in place. My arms ached, stretched helplessly above my head, my chest rising in frantic bursts as I fought for air. Every breath was shallow, broken, and laced with the scent that now filled the room, earthy, intoxicating, inescapable. The touch came again, no longer hesitant but claiming. Invisible fingers slid down my spine, pausing at the small of my back before dragging lower, slow and deliberate. My entire body shuddered, shame burning through me as my pulse faltered, each beat echoing with betrayal. I tried to push upward, to break free, but the unseen force pressed harder, savoring my weakness. Another breath spilled across my ear, hotter, closer, curling into me with unbearable intimacy. My lips parted against the pillow, and the whisper followed, clearer than ever. Mine. The word reverberated inside me, a vow I could not fight, no matter how violently I shook. My body arched against the bed, helpless, my trembling only fueling its claim. The sheets tightened suddenly, pulled taut on either side as though held by unseen hands. I was trapped, completely, every nerve on fire, my thoughts unraveling beneath the suffocating presence. My chest locked as the weight pressed along my entire back, crushing me into the mattress. My breath fractured into short, desperate gasps, and just when I thought it would break me, the rehook came. The bed frame groaned with a long, low creak as the presence shifted closer, pressing into me until every inch of my body was caged. My vision blurred, my heart pounded so violently it hurt. I braced for the final moment, for the contact I couldn't allow but couldn't escape. Then, It vanished. The warmth dissolved. The pressure lifted. The scent thinned into nothing. I gasped, dragging in air, my body convulsing with tremors as though I had just surfaced from deep water. My arm collapsed at my sides, my muscles shaking with relief. For a fleeting second, I believed it was over. But then I saw them, 2 deep indentations at either side of me, pressed firmly into the mattress, knees perfectly aligned with where the weight had held me down. My breath froze, my chest constricted, and before I could scream, the marks dragged forward inch by inch toward my arms. I shut my eyes, trembling, praying it would stop, and just as they reached the edge of my wrists, they vanished. The fabric smoothed, the silence roared back, and I was left in the dark with the certainty that I was never alone. Even now when I close my eyes, I wait for it. The warmth, the whisper, the claim that still lingers at my ear. Because once something like this touches you, you never sleep alone again. Have you ever felt an unseen touch while you slept? Share your story in the comments. I want to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to Paranormal Sleep for more terrifying midnight encounters, because the next story might be yours.